Imagine you walk into a grocery store and you see nothing but aisles and aisles of bare shelves. Confused, you ask an employee where all the produce is, and he tells you that a truck has not delivered any food in the past 3 days. Good morning, my name is Brendan Gorman, and today I'll be discussing the question, to what extent has the transportation industry affected distribution of resources in the United States economy? The trucking industry makes up 83.7% of all commercial transportation in the United States and grosses $650 billion in revenue every year, which also equates to about 5% of the overall United States GDP. Without trucking, our economy would take a serious blow as a result of a lack of resources not being able to be distributed to different facilities around the country. Some prime examples of facilities would be hospitals, pharmacies, and also cancer treatment facilities. According to the International Food Distribution Association, hospitals lack the sufficient storage in order to hold more than 24 to 48 hours worth of food, meaning that trucks must deliver food almost every single day in order to keep all the patients well fed and a faster recovery. Pharmacies, on the other hand, carry several weeks worth of drugs, but such as in the wintertime, they have seasonal drugs such as flu shots and antibiotics that can be depleted to zero in as little as 1 to 2 days, meaning you need much more delivery. Along with this is cancer treatment facilities. They hold many different kinds of drugs that only last a few hours, such as radiopharmaceuticals and oxygen tanks. These supplies, once used, are one-time use and have to be replaced about once a week and keep patients alive. Another giant market in the United States is the fuel consumption industry. The United States is the largest consumer of auto fuel in the entire world, and the Service Station Dealers of America say that the busiest fuel stations in the country require 200,000 to 300,000 gallons of fuel every single month. This means that multiple truck deliveries must be made every single day in order to keep them in business. And analysis say that if the entire country went 1 week without deliveries, there would be no more automobile travel in the country. What this means is, automobile travel would be a standstill for most jobs. Some of the most important ones that would be affected are first responders such as police, medics, and firefighters who would not be able to get to the scene quickly and endanger the public. Along with mail carriers, could not deliver bills, parcels, or mail. Public bus routes would also take a blunder since they transport millions of people every single day that would not be able to get to their jobs or on their day-to-day travels. Another very serious hazard is waste management, and as little as 2 days, if waste is not picked up, it would start to build up and create a biohazard for the public safety. A growing problem for the trucking and transportation industry is a shortage of drivers. Currently, there are 1.6 million drivers in the United States with a median age of about 49 years old. The problem with this is that the median age for the rest of American workers is only about 42 years old. Another serious issue that comes up is, while 47% of women make up the entire workforce in the United States, only 6% of truckers are women. Bob Costello, the president of the American Trucking Association, is quoted as saying that the 2 biggest obstacles for the trucking industry in the future is recruiting young drivers and women. Here I have a bar graph from the American Trucking Association showing the depletion of drivers between the years 2013 and 2015. Between 2013 and 2014, there was an 8,000 person decrease, while between 2014 and 2015, there was a 10,000 person decrease. According to an article by Derek Thompson in The World Without Work, although the end of jobs for humans is still a futuristic concept, it may be coming quicker than we think in the trucking industry. As robots and self-driving cars have already started to be implemented onto our roads, the same can be said for semi-trucks. Back in October of 2016, Otto, a self-driving startup company partnered with Anheuser-Busch, a beer company, and they built a self-driving semi-truck that was comprised of hundreds of cameras and sensors, and it made a 120-mile trip and delivered an entire trailer of beer to Fort Collins. What this means is, because there is increasing shortage of drivers, self-driving trucks can be implemented onto the roads to fill these gaps and also be more efficient in the way they deliver their produce. The trucking transportation industry is the backbone of the United States economy and delivers resources to all different American businesses. To be put simply, without trucks, America stops. Thank you. What are your questions?
All right, 2 questions for you, Ben. First up, tell me about your sources, how valid, reliable they were, how'd you know that they were?
Another big source for me was the Bureau of Transportation Statistics, which is a government website, along with the American Trucking Association, which is one of the biggest global trucking statistic companies, I could say. They were very reliable. I found some articles from CNN. That's where I found the article about Otto and Anheuser-Busch and the future of trucking.
All right, and last question for you. If you had more time, what additional research would you put on this?
I would have focused a little bit more on the aviation and train transportation. I really want to focus on trucking though, because it made up a huge majority of the transportation industry, about 83%, leaving only, I believe it was like 5% for airplanes and another like 12% for trains. So I just believe I want to focus on the big one first, and if I had time, definitely go on to the smaller ones.
All right, thank you.